Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to today's Training Industry Learning Tech Showcase, Emerging Technologies, sponsored by Camtasia, ComLab India, DID, ELB Learning, and Imparta. So I'm Liz Spate, the Events Marketing Specialist here at Training Industry, and I'm thrilled to have you with us here today. Before we get started, though, I would like to quickly go over a few housekeeping items to help you interact with our speaker and get the most out of today's program. So a lot of you have already, but if you haven't done so, let's open up those chat windows and let us know where you're joining us from today. I'm broadcasting live from cloudy Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's just a pleasure to have you with us here today. So while you're doing that, feel free to use this chat window for any comments as well as questions. This session will be very interactive, so please do not hesitate to plug your questions throughout for our speakers to address. If we do not have time, we do have some dedicated time at the end of the session, but we do have the DID team here, so they will be reaching out shortly if they do not address this. And once the session ends, a brief survey will appear in your browser. Please take a moment to share your feedback on the session and our speakers. And all of our sessions are being recorded and archived on trainingindustry.com, and you will receive a follow-up email from us that will include the link to the on-demand program for you to share with your team. Now, if this is your first Training Industry event, we would love to welcome you. Training Industry exists to make connections among learning and development professionals, and we offer tons of resources to support your role in L&D, like live events like today's showcase, as well as through articles on our website, our magazine, conferences, research reports, our podcast, and our membership. We would also love to hear about what you've learned from today's session on social media, so please follow us on your favorite platform so we can continue the conversation. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our first speakers of today. We have Thomas Magnifico, the VP of Strategical Partnerships, Global Head of Customer Success at DID, and then we have Danny Pichardo, Director of Customer Success US from DID. So with that, gentlemen, take it away.
Thanks, Liz. Appreciate the warm welcome and welcome everyone for today's session. We're happy to be the first ones. So hope everyone here in the US or in the Eastern time, you got your coffee ready to get going, and we will jump right in. So I'm joined by my amazing colleague, Tom, and let's get it going. All right. So Tom, confirm you can see my screen, please.
Confirmed.
All right, awesome. All right, so thanks again, everyone. We are continuing our conversation from a few weeks back. And so don't worry, if you missed that one, you're going to leave with the core of what you need to know today. To get started, I want to just have a quick introduction from our digital colleague.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. It's great to be back at Training Industry for another event. At DID, we're transforming the way people communicate with AI through real-time conversational avatars. Today is all about showing you how this actually works. You'll see how easy it is to create a conversational avatar like me, from defining behavior and adding knowledge to getting your agent live and ready to interact. And now I'll hand it over to my human counterpart, Danny.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Mia. That's our colleague, Mia. Thanks to introduce us here and there. And so today's agenda, we're going to get started with just an avatar, right? So everything that we're going to be talking about today starts with an avatar. We'll talk about that for a second. Then we're going to get into creating an agent. Tom is going to jump into that and show us how you can actually create an agent, some use cases, and we're going to dive into one today. We will then show you how you can combine these agents with video and bridge the gap from where you're currently at, most likely using a lot of video content, to now making it live and dynamic with a conversation. And lastly, how you can connect all these things to your existing learning programs. Okay. So again, avatars. It all starts with an avatar. With DID, you have a number of ways to get those developed. Of course, we have a ton of stock avatars. Our V4, our latest one, is leading the industry in terms of lip sync, natural expression, real-time responsiveness, and selectable sentiments. So you're able to get all of those things in. This is also customizable. So you can also create your own custom avatars, digital twins of folks at your organizations. And is very easy to get done. We can walk you through all of that with some recording and making sure that everyone is set up. So there's really two ways to go about getting an avatar, either stock or custom. And we've seen both use cases being used ubiquitously. All right. And these, of course, when you build your avatar, are now able to be used as an agent for interactive, live conversational real-time experiences, or as well for videos. Okay. So without further ado, I want us to meet our agent. So this is just a quick image. Emma is our agent. She is a generalized role play agent, so she can role play various scenarios, such as sales coaching, customer service interactions, or even management role play to help train, managers on tough conversations with employees. So Tom has done us a great gesture of developing this, and he's going to show us not only how this works in real time, but then he's going to actually dive into how you can build it and create your own. Tom, want to go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, thanks, Danny. All right, let's share my screen now. So I'm going to replace this screen share. All right, I'm going to share my computer sound. Perfect. All right, well, let's jump in and let's start having a conversation with Emma.
Hey, I'm Emma, your all-in-one roleplay avatar from DID. Name the scenario and I'll jump right in. What should I be today?
Hey, Emma, be a disgruntled customer, and I want to be a customer service rep.
Oh, seriously? My order's been delayed again, and your app keeps freezing whenever I try to track it. I've spent more time waiting than actually using your service. Can somebody please fix this mess, or am I just shouting into the void?
Hey, Emma, I'm sorry you're dealing with these issues. When did they start happening?
Ugh, it's been happening all week. Every time I think it's sorted, there's another glitch or some new delay. I just want what I paid for. Is that too much to ask?
No, Emma, and again, I apologize that you're experiencing these issues. Could you let me know what level of service you have?
I've got the so-called Premium Plus package. You know, the one that's supposed to come with like fast delivery and priority support? Turns out priority means waiting forever and getting nowhere. What are you going to do to actually fix this?
Hey, Emma, thank you so much for confirming what level of service you have. Has this been a new occurrence or is it happening since you started the package?
It started out okay, but honestly, it's only gotten worse since I upgraded. I thought premium meant better service, not more headaches. Feels like I'm paying extra to be frustrated.
I appreciate that, Emma. Okay, so let's dive into your account. If you can give me your information so I can look you up in our system.
Oh, you want my info? Sure, but last time I gave it, I ended up repeating myself 3 times and still nothing changed. You promise I won't be stuck in customer service limbo forever.
I promise, Emma, I'm here to support you and help you and make sure you get to your resolution as soon as possible.
All right, I'll hold you to that. My name's Emma Frustrator, and my account ID is 987X54321. If I finally get some real help today, maybe I'll forgive those endless hold tunes. Maybe.
Emma, thanks for giving me the information. I'm going to look up your account right now and see what I can see.
Good, I'm glad someone's finally taking action. Let me know what you find. Fingers crossed this doesn't turn into another wild goose chase.
Okay, Emma, I just logged into our accounts here and I see that there's an issue on the technical side. I've had our people take a look and adjust that, and going forward, you shouldn't have any more challenges.
Well, that's music to my ears. If things actually work now, I might even start believing in premium again. I'll keep an eye on it, and if there's any more drama, you'll be hearing from me, for better or worse.
It was a pleasure helping you today, Emma, and our company really values your service and your patronage. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for saying that. If everything runs smoothly from now on, maybe I'll even recommend you to my friends. No more cranky calls from me. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Thank you. All right. So again, I think some of the things that we wanted to highlight in that specific demo was again, the agent was created in a way that led it to be agnostic, right? So it could be a customer service training agent, it could be a sales agent. So again, in this scenario, you could see the different sentiments during the conversation. She was a little annoyed, she was excited, she was happy that I said I solved the issue, but she kind of put me to the test, right? So this was really a generic, example. But depending on your companies, your solutions, right, you can really kind of go in there and trigger and define the specific types of scenarios and information that the agent even has to really dial in and train your employees. Okay. So what I'd like to show now is really how we built that agent. And this is kind of the bread and butter of what you want to do and how you want to build these things in DID. So again, Danny, just thumbs up. You can see my screen still, just to
Yeah.
make sure. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so again, I've named Emma the demo role play agent, right? So when you log into DID, you can come in here and you can do a whole bunch of things, okay? You can come here and edit it. You can create as new. For purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to edit it to show you all the different parts of Emma and how she made it. But again, it's very simple to come in here and make these agents in real time. All right, so I'm going to edit it. Now, when you come in to the edit screen for an agent, and again, this is just the same way as creating it from new, you'll have a varied amount of avatars that you're going to want to create or use, okay? So again, but we have all these avatars that are listed here as V4, and the V4 ones are the ones you're going to want to use for one, best performance, and two, those different sentiments that you saw during the demo. Again, most of the V4 agents have those sentiments where they could be happy, they could be sad, they could be energetic, they can be mean. And again, using those different types of expressions really help in training and doing those role play scenarios that, we were going through. Now, the cool thing is you have your custom avatars, right? So there's a whole bunch of custom avatars that I've got in my account that you create. So this is where those would be. But again, it's simple to use the ones that exist here because they have everything that you guys need to create a really good agent. So once you pick your avatar, then you're going to want to pick your voice. Now, for the sake of this demo, obviously I did it in English, right? But the agents themselves can be multilingual. Okay, so again, if I wanted to have a multilingual scenario, I could type in multilingual, come in here, and then again, I get my multilingual voices. Now, the value of selecting a multilingual voice over just one that's English is again, they speak 29 languages natively today. Okay, so Spanish, Portuguese, um, French, a whole bunch of different languages are supported naturally by these agents. Soon there'll be over 50 that are supported naturally. But again, we support over 100 plus languages. So again, if you're looking for one specific language, you can use that. If you want the multilingual ones, you can select a multilingual voice, and those multilingual voices will basically cover the languages that were selected. Okay. So really here, when we get to the behavior tab is where we really dial in and get super specific on, the roles and what this agent can actually do. So again, in the agent role, I put in something that I thought made sense. So again, this agent was supposed to be a role play agent. So again, the agent role for this one is a clever, adaptable avatar who can instantly role play any scenario requested by the user. Now, this is a general role play for all scenarios. You can get super dialed in here and say it's a role play for sales. You could say it's a role play for customer service. The sky's the limit here on how you can define these roles for these agents and super dialed in. Personality, again, you have some canned values here, but again, you can put stuff in here that is very specific, right? So again, I said smart, flexible, playful, conversational. Again, she was pretty playful at the beginning, but when she kind of got her scenario, she got right to the point and was very disgruntled and was to the point of being expressing her unhappiness to me, right? So again, you can really define things really well here for the personality as well. But we give you some canned responses to kind of get you started. All right. Now, the prompt is where the magic happens. The prompt basically is again how you define what this agent really does and what it knows and how it behaves. So for example, like you can set an identity role. And again, I said M is clever, adaptable, playful, never corporate or robotic, very versatile. Again, we want to make this fun for the people that are using it, okay, whether it's your customers, your employees, yourself. So you really want to dial in and get something that's really, adaptable. And again, she was pretty human-like in the way she behaved, right? So again, that's kind of the instructions we've given her here. All right. So then we can give her just stick to the facts. She's warm in formality, right? Use the types of words, start sentences, how you can do that. Okay. Speech pacing, you talk like a real friend. And again, I thought she was very friendly, not robotic. The goal is we don't want your users or your customers to talk to ChatGPT. That's not what we're doing here. We're trying to create lifelike role play agents that are really engaging to talk with. So again, getting this information here is really good to really define how it should talk and how it should behave. Topic steering, things like that. If they get off topic, aliens, pizza, reply. So again, there's all these guardrails that you can put in here to make sure like the agent stays on topic and it is used for the purpose that it's meant to be used for. Again, we don't want people using this to have just normal conversations. it has a goal, right? So you can define all these different things in here. So again, you get 20,000 characters to really define a prompt. Now, the cool thing is, I'll switch back to that in a minute. We actually have some pretty good templates that you can use as conversation starters. So I have a lot of this predefined already for you. I'm sure that's one of the questions. How do I know what to put in here? That's when you use our templates, right? So we have some of those templates in there to really define all this and have it written out. If there's not a template, that's where our customer success team will come in and help you build these things out, right? So there's a lot. The last thing is the LLM. We have a whole bunch of different LLMs in here defined to help you really kind of get started. The default one is always good. The 4.1 is our default. It's our best model. It's ChatGPT 4.1. You can see we support Gemini. Again, come in here and play. I mean, there's faster models for faster responses, but we find that GPT 4.1 has the lowest latency, and it also has the ability to, encompass all of the scenarios and all of the different things that you want to put. But again, there's other models in here you can play with. Now, if you were using API or a little more technical, you can pick a few different other things. But again, we give you some pretty good models in here to get started. Okay. Knowledge.
One quick just
Go
because I
ahead.
think this is maybe a little timely. People were asking, maybe we see it there, just like if someone wants to be able to build this so to ask questions or is like pass fail scenarios,
Mhm.
where would that be here in the behavior?
Yeah, that's in the behavior. You want to put it in
Okay.
the agent prompt to kind of put those types of questions. You also
Okay.
can put it in the knowledge base. And again, I'm watching my time pretty closely here. I know we have a few more minutes. You could actually put information in the knowledge base. So this demo, I didn't really use a knowledge base. I actually used the LLM in and itself. Now, in your scenarios, you're going to want to have information that's tied to your business or the roles or scenarios that you actually want to build. So you could upload text for the knowledge. So again, it could just be information about your product or your company or the specific roles, or it could be files, right? And this is kind of where you change this to a hybrid setting, and then you upload text files. Maybe it's PowerPoints or PDFs that you already have that you want the agent to learn from specific knowledge. That's the data that it's going to pull from, okay, to actually answer the questions. So again, going back to the behavior in the prompt is more of how to behave, the types of questions to ask, things like that. The knowledge is actually the information you wanted to know about. So again, if I was in a scenario of a customer service for your specific product, you're going to want to add the product details and the product information here to the knowledge base. So it will use that as well. You could also adjust the creativity level of the agent. You could upload media. So again, if you had like, videos that you wanted the agent to play, maybe in like those instructional scenarios of how to behave, how to do this, the agent can ping those up as well. You can put those files here and it'll bring those up in a timely manner. All right. The last piece is the conversation. So again, when the agent flows up, you want to put a greeting in. So again, that's where it said, "Hey, I'm Emma. I'm your all-in-one role play agent." You could add multiple greetings to randomize. So again, if you just want to, if it's a customer service bot that's on your website and you want to have different greetings, you can do all those different things. You could add conversation starters. So again, maybe if you want to, lead the witness, as I say, and have the user actually ask a question that's canned, you could add those questions, they'll pop up on the interface. Now, one thing I did shut off was the camera, but we actually support camera support. So if you saw when I started the agent, there was a camera box on the bottom right-hand window. It could see me. And now we have the ability to do that. So again, in a customer service scenario, if you want the agent to read the person's face as it's, describing, making sure they're doing it correctly, you can enable that. For purposes of the demo, I shut it off, but it's a really cool feature. Also, we have topics to avoid. Okay. So again, if you wanted to like not be religious or political or things like that, you could actually put that in there. So again, we have all these guardrails, whether it's to the prompt or specific topics to avoid to really make sure the agent stays on point. So again, I know that's a lot that I threw at you, and there's a lot more that you can do when you're building out, but that's kind of really of a quick walkthrough of how we built this agent. And again, you could see how playful it was and engaging it was, not even having a knowledge base of our products or things like that. It's really dynamic. And the more you add, the more dialed in it could be. Okay. So that's really the walkthrough. Now, one thing I will show you, and I'll just go back really quickly because I know the question will be asked. As I cancel out of here, if I wanted to create a new agent, I mentioned these templates, right? So you could either go create an agent from scratch or you can use our templates to start. So let's just say in an example, I wanted to use like a witty brand ambassador or like a travel guide. I can click on these agents and then use it as template. and then it'll have a lot of this predefined. So as you sign up for DID and you use these things, you have these templates listed at the top of the screen. So now I'm going to turn it over to Danny and let him dive into a demo of how you combine videos and avatars into a pretty engaging package. So Danny, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Tom. And thanks for that walkthrough. I think very informative. And I'm sure saw a bunch of questions come up and we'll get to some of those in a little bit. All right. So again, as Tom mentioned, so you create an agent talking about different use cases. The one I want to showcase now is agentic video. And that's where we kind of bridge, connecting video with an agent so you can create some of these scenarios and make it very easy. In this case, it's like a 24/7 FAQ agent that's available. So let me go ahead and share that.
In modern hospitals, patient safety and efficiency are paramount. Introducing VitalScan Pro, the next generation of patient monitoring. VitalScan Pro continuously tracks vital signs with wireless precision, from heart rate and oxygen saturation to advanced hemodynamic parameters. Its AI-driven early warning system detects critical changes before they become emergencies, giving medical staff valuable time to act. Seamless integration with
Hi, can you remind me what is the most important takeaway here about VitalScan Pro?
The key point is that VitalScan Pro continuously monitors vital signs wirelessly, detects critical changes early, and integrates data into hospital records to enhance patient safety and care.
And what's the best scenarios that it could be used for?
VitalScan Pro is best used in intensive care units, operating rooms, and emergency departments for real-time patient monitoring and early detection of issues.
When looking at VitalScan Pro, who benefits the most by using this device?
Patients benefit by receiving safer, more timely care, while healthcare providers gain reliable, real-time vital data to make better decisions. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask.
hospital IT systems ensures that all data flows directly into electronic health records, secure, reliable, and in real time. The modular design allows flexible use in intensive care units, operating rooms, and even...
All right, so you can see what I love about that specific use case is, if someone has questions real time, they want to learn something, where what we see really helps retention is being able to provide those answers at the moment that someone is curious about it, right? So this is in the middle of the video, they can interrupt, they can come and have this conversation with the agent and get the knowledge they're looking for and then continue the learning program. All right, so you're probably wondering, okay, great, this all looks really cool, but how can I connect it to my existing tools, right? So how do we connect these things? So it's very easy to deploy, from shareable links, LMS or SCORM packages that are compatible with any LMS system you have. You can create websites or landing pages and then have embeddable agents there, again, with like either an embed code, or we can work with that. You can work with our other connections as well, which Tom will get into in a second. But these very simple tools built into DID Studio do not require any developers, right? And we can help you make sure to get all these things done. And then on the other side, we do have very easy to use, robust API integrations that I'll let Tom speak to a little bit.
Yeah, so again, as Danny said, I think the embeddable agents and the links pretty easy to deploy, whether it's on a website, in an LMS, another landing page, whatever. I think when we really want to build custom routes and things like that, I mean, that's where we get into the API integrations. And again, everything that's available in the studio is available via the API. So if you want to build custom things into your applications, whether it be on the web or mobile, you can do it with the API. If you want to build super specific scenarios and want to integrate other things that maybe you have, whether it's products or other tools, you can use the API to do that as well. And again, the API, both the API and the embeddable agents are supported for, enterprise, right? So we have big organizations, mid-size, small-size enterprises. Everybody's using these agents in a different way. I think one of the things that separates DID from the rest of the pack is we're built for the enterprise and built to scale. And again, as you grow your business or as you grow your users, the agents will grow and expand with you as well. So that's one of the reasons to use the API to kind of expand and grow the interactions.
Great. Okay, Liz, and I think now we have a poll. We want to ask everyone. Now you've seen some of the capabilities of avatars, how easy it is to create our agents, and even the agentic video integration. Where do you see, how ready is your team to explore AI avatars in the training space? So not a priority now, curious but still learning, actively exploring options, or you are ready to test a pilot. So curious to see where we're at. Tom, we're seeing the poll getting a lot of responses quick, which is nice. And looks like a mixed bag. I mean, a lot of people are really exploring, right? And I think that's where so many folks are these days when we speak, right? In general, there's a lot of folks trying to understand, learn, exploring their options, wanting to dive into the pool, but still kind of looking at the water for lack of a
Yeah,
better
I
term.
mean, there's a lot. I think one of the things too is like what we see is like people are ready for this technology. And you can see it works in real time pretty well now, right? And it's pretty responsive, pretty lifelike. Cameras are supported. So we're kind of getting to that point where this is ready to happen.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, cool. So we see here responses. Got a mixed bag. A lot of people curious but learning. Some is not a priority, and others are actively exploring and ready to test. So that's great. And for those of you that are, curious and learning, exploring and ready to test, and even if it's not a priority right now, take a look, scan this QR code, visit our website, visit this landing page, set up a call with us, right? We're happy to talk through very specific use cases with you all, understand exactly what you're trying to accomplish, and work with our experts, right? So we can help you make sure you're taking advantage of the latest and greatest technology and making your lives simpler and making your learning and your training more engaging. So we'll leave this up for a second. And with that said, I mean, we are at our Q&A portion of the session. We've got about 5 minutes left, so we'll jump in and answer as many of these questions as we can. Anything that we're not able to jump to or get to today, we will make sure someone reaches out to you and tries to make sure they answer those questions for you all.
Okay.
So I'll leave this up so everyone can keep going, but we're officially in the Q&A section.
All right, let's answer some questions. Do you have any leadership scenarios, i.e., giving feedback to an employee? This was from Jenny. Yes. So again, there's sentiments and there's sentiment analysis as part of the platform where you could actually see the types of questions being answered, things like that. So again, whether it's through us or through some partners that we have, yes, all this can be done in a scenario based in a feedback way. So again, it's all part of the platform. And again, at the end of the day, you can create the agents any way you want, right? So again, in that scenario, it's hey, you're a senior leader and you're giving feedback to your employee during performance review or during a one-on-one or something like that. So again, you can have those types of scenarios built and HR can validate that their leaders are giving the right types of feedback, things like that. We do see that with some enterprise now, and they're adopting this technology for that. All right. Is there proprietary knowledge embedded, encrypted before it goes to the LLM? So again, at the end of the day, the information that goes to the LLM is not necessarily stored or tracked. The LLM's used as a way to produce a response versus sending the information directly to the LLM. So no. And again, if security is your concern, we have all the SOC 2, ISO 2700, we have all those certifications. Again, there's options to you for host the actual technology internally, so it never leaves your system. But again, that's all part of like the discovery we would do with you guys of figuring out, how does this information needs to sit, where it needs to flow. I think Ali answered this, but again, we're not really storing any data. The chat logs are stored for a certain amount of time, but they can be deleted instantly depending on your needs, right? So again, at the end of the day, your data is safe, secure, and doesn't leave the system. It doesn't go into the LLM.
Yeah, and one that was asked early on, is it possible to train on real customer data, right? And the example that Tom had for the customer service rep, and the answer to that is yes, right? And I think, we kind of walked through that. You got the knowledge bases, you've got the behavior, so you can use all of that as your training data. Very simple to make that happen. And as we mentioned, right, you can even tap into that, right? With API, you can connect to this real customer data and have it be dynamic, constantly updating as such.
Okay. Adam asks, have enterprise IT organizations been receptive to the knowledge sharing storing scenario? Again, at the end of the day, it's always the biggest concern, right? When we go through, security reviews and things like that. We have all the certs, we have all these things that we need to from a architecture perspective to make sure your IT team is comfortable, with the information. And again, at the end of the day, it all depends on where the data is stored. So again, we're super comfortable with that. We're super comfortable having those conversations with your IT teams. I mean, DID is working with some of the leading organizations in the world, financial institutions that have pretty strict standards, and we're working with them because we've been able to, get through those reviews, whether it's security, IT, et cetera. So we're super confident, we have the things in place to satisfy that. Is pricing based on a per developer or per user? It's more on the interactions, right? So again, once we get to enterprise, it's more of the number of interactions and the sessions that your users are going to have. So that's how it's paced. And it's a credit-based system, right? So, the more interaction you have, the more credits you use. But again, when we work with you to build a plan, we're doing the calculations with you. We're doing that to make sure you're buying a plan or getting a plan that fits your needs. A common issue I've come across, this is from Frank Pratt, is the pronunciation. Yeah, so you could actually put phonetic spellings in specifically for company names. So again, in the knowledge base or in the instructions, you can put the say, DID. You can phonetically say it, right? So the agent will produce that. And again, that's one of the values of using some of the newer models because they support that. So we've seen that a lot. And I think we're out of time, right, Liz?
We are, and man, I think I lost count of the questions. I try to keep a count of like how roughly, but man, you guys had a ton of questions. This was super engaging, gentlemen. Is there anything else you would like to leave with the audience today before we take our first break?
No, great stuff. I mean, we're here to answer more. So feel free to reach out to us. And yeah, super excited to help you guys build these types of scenarios.
Yep.
Fabulous. Well,
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate the time and appreciate you being the first ones of the day. So hopefully set the tone. Liz didn't let you
you
down.
did. You did. Now I'm expecting everyone. Keep these questions coming, keep the engagement going. Thank you, gentlemen. And so for everyone else, we are going to be taking that first break. So up next in about 15 or so minutes, we have Andrew for their session sponsored by ELB Learning, How AI Roleplay Helps Teams Practice High Stakes Conversations Before They Even Happen. So in just a moment, I'm going to end this session. You can join our next session by returning to that event lobby and then go to the session tab, and it will be where the next session is. So I hope you all stick around for the next session, which will begin shortly. I will see you all then. Bye, everybody.